below 2,000, baby. Eating palms on a Ray Road. I'm a project baby. Eagles Drive, we was at Oak Grove, barely graduated. We got Tasha, Molly, Bodie, Corbett, stay on at the haters.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the New Media Podcast. I'm your host, Ya. We hope you enjoyed the last episode because, as always, today's going to be an even better episode. I got the whole crew with me. Everybody's in the house today. And today we're going to be talking about week 5, but we're also going to be taking a deeper dive into the NBA. The preseason just kicked off. The NBA season is right around the corner, so it's only right that we talk about it. So today we're going to be giving our standing predictions for the Eastern Conference. But as always, before we kick off with our topics, temperature check. How's everybody doing?
Feeling good, man.
2-2, man. Week 5, man. Let's get it.
I mean,
3-1, man. I'm looking forward to another week of football, man.
Yeah,
but
I'm right behind y'all. We ain't too far.
But as always, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the very first game that's gonna kick off week 5 for us, and the Indianapolis Colts on the road playing the Denver Broncos.
I mean, I'm not convinced about the Broncos. I'm gonna pick them simply on the backs of that they're the more talented team, they're the better looking team. But again, like better here, it doesn't mean that they're been particularly great this season. Their offense has just been a disappointment, and on top of the fact that they lost Javonte Williams, which is a big loss, because Melvin Gordon, man, those hands, he cannot hold on to the football, and it's just been an issue with him for his entire career. So again, I'm just gonna pick the Broncos here because they're the better looking team. The Colts have been struggling. Jonathan Taylor playing through an injury. He's questionable. I don't think they should even risk it. But if he does play, I just don't see a reason for him performing well. He hasn't looked good all season. The offensive lines look terrible, and Matt Ryan just looks washed. So I'm going to go Broncos here, but it's 20-13 type of game. Nobody's going to score a crazy amount of points.
Yeah, man. I don't think I'm going to pick the Colts for the rest of the year. I feel like I'm putting him in that Washington Commanders category where I'm going to go against them. It's a free win every time you go against them. That offense hasn't shown me anything this year. Jonathan Taylor has been one of the worst backs. The offensive line has been one of the worst offensive line. The defense hasn't looked that well, but they stole a win from the Chiefs. But hey, that happens once in a while. You know, every 3 to 4 seasons, a team like that's going to steal a win. But I got the Broncos winning, although the Broncos are not a great team, not a good team either. But they got more talent on the offensive side. They have more talent on the defensive side, even with the loss of Javonte Williams. Feel like they're going to let Russell Wilson pass the ball more. We've seen him pass the ball 18 times, 19 times, 20 times, but hey, let it loose, man. 30 times. Get Cortland Sutton and Judy involved in the game and see what happens.
They're giving him the Justin Fields treatment, bro. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Hey, you pay him $250 million. Like, hey, guy, 17 times. What's the point of buying a quarterback like that? Come on now. So I feel like Nathaniel Hackett, he gotta let Russell Wilson have some space to work with and let the ball loose.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with all of you guys here. I got the Broncos winning this one. Vegas got Denver as the favorites, -3. I think they'll cover that pretty easily. I have the Denver Broncos winning somewhere around, I would say 20-14. The Colts, of course, I've picked them 3 out of like the last 4 weeks, and the 1 week that I didn't pick them, they won. So I'm not going to lose a point here. So I'm just going to pick the Broncos. The Russell Wilson, he's going to have to just air it out for the rest of the year because of no Javonte Williams. So I got the Broncos. Next, we have another 6:30 game. I'm just happy it's not my team. But the New York Giants playing the Green Bay Packers, 2 teams that are both 3-1.
There's a battle of 3-1s, but
I heard it's the worst 3-1 battle, between the 2 worst 3-1 teams.
No. One's fake, one's real. But I'm gonna go with us here, man. I am scared of the fact that we're playing against a red hot Saquon Barkley, and last week just got gashed by Damian Harris. So, I mean, that is scary. But again, I trust in Aaron Rodgers. I feel like we're going to deliver. And again, this is a quarterback matchup. Daniel Jones on one end, Aaron Rodgers on the other end. I mean, come on, man. You're going to have to rock with the bad men here. I'm going to go with number 12. No question in my mind. I feel like our defense might do a better job against the pass this week. Saquon's going to get Saquon. He's going to do what he does. That's inevitable. But for us, it's a matter of limiting everyone else. And I feel like the Giants, outside of rushing, they haven't been productive. So I'm going to go with us here. I think the Packers win this pretty comfortably, matter of fact.
I wouldn't say comfortably. You brought up you guys have to be better in the pass game, but I feel like you guys on the defensive side, that run game has to step up. You guys are coming in against the leading running back right now in the rushing category, Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones last week, I think he had 10 carries, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon had 146. They're a running team, so their objective is to come into the game, pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball, and rely on their defense to get stopped. So, but for me, I still have Aaron Rodgers coming in, grinding the game out, but I feel like it's going to be a close game. But Packers got the W.
I said in our last episode that the Giants are the worst 3-1 team in the league, but then I followed that up with saying that the Green Bay Packers are right there with them. So, I have the Packers winning this one. Are they going to cover the spread? Vegas got them -8. I don't think they'll cover that, but at the end of the day, the Giants, they're going to have to rely heavily on Saquon Barkley, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to make a throw here and there to win you a game. And I just feel like Aaron Rodgers can do that. So I got the Packers winning this one. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road playing the Buffalo Bills.
Like, come on. I'm really not. I refuse to pick the Steelers anymore. Like, I just can't do it, man. Like,
you got my pick already.
Yeah,
you know my pick.
Like Josh Allen, Kenny Pickett.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going Josh Allen here, man. There's no question in my mind.
The spread is like the worst spread I think Pittsburgh got in the history. In their history. It's -14, I think. It's like the worst one they ever got. It's bad.
But
yeah, even people that are betting on in Vegas, man,
they know some. They already know the truth.
Yeah, it's a big slaughterhouse prepared for them. They know what's happening. Josh Allen's gonna
pretty straightforward. I'm going Josh Allen here. No question.
Even with Pittsburgh defense being good, the amount of times they're going to be on the field trying to stop Josh Allen is not going to. They're going to be too tired. So I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on this one, man. I don't got to say anything else. Nothing else on this game. I got the Buffalo Bills winning this one pretty comfortably. We'll go ahead and move on to the Los Angeles Chargers on the road playing the Cleveland Browns.
I'm going to go the Chargers here. I don't know. Like, I feel like the Browns have the potential to try to run over the Chargers, especially with the injuries that they've had on defense. But again, I feel like Justin Herbert is just going to make enough plays in the air for them to win this game. To me, they're a bit more talented on the offensive end, and I feel like they're making a point of emphasis to get Eckler the ball a lot more now. So I have them winning this game. I just feel like Justin Herbert is just going to get the job done, and Jacoby Brissett, he's been doing well in managing the game. And of course, Nick Chubb is going to get his yardage, but I just feel like offensively, they just don't have enough yet to beat this Chargers team. It's not like the Chargers team are head and shoulders above everyone else, but I feel like they just have enough to beat this team. So I got the Chargers to win this game.
Yeah, I got the Chargers winning just off the fact that just on offense, they got more playmakers. Their offense is much more explosive. You know, they got Herb, they got Keenan Allen coming back this week, especially last week, feeding the ball to Eckler multiple times in the end zone, letting him get into rhythm. It's going to be a big factor this week. So I got the Chargers winning by not a good margin, but I think by 10 points. That the same objective with the Browns. They come into the game, Brissett game manage, Chubb run the ball and try to play great defense. So I feel like that's not going to happen this week with the type of offense the Chargers have. And the defense been getting healthy so far. So they got J.C. Jackson back, Derwin James is healthy, Max healthy. The only player they're missing right now is Joey Bosa, but they're getting into a rhythm. So we'll see.
Will Keenan Allen play this week though? I don't know, man.
The hamstring, it'd be scary,
it's funny.
Though.
He practices 2 days and then on Friday, it's like, hey, he's not going to play. It's like, what's the point of him practicing Wednesday and Thursday? It's crazy. I don't know what's up with that hamstring, man, but they really need him back, though. Yeah, it's going to be a big addition to the team if they get him back.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I have the Chargers as well, with or without Keenan Allen, to be honest, because I still feel like they have enough playmakers to win this game. The Browns, of course, are just going to run the ball. I feel like this game will be a lot closer than people think, because Vegas got the Chargers as the favorites -3. I don't know. I feel like something's telling me that this might be a trap game, but I'm just going to have to go ahead and pick the Chargers here and just, let the chips fall where they may.
We see the Chargers always give up big leads in the second half, so it might be one of those games where they get a big lead in the second half. It's another blow lead, and then the other team comes back.
I mean, because I think Jacoby Brissett, he can air it out a little bit. He can get Amari Cooper the ball and David and Njoku the ball, and then of course Nick Chubb's gonna be him, run all over them. So I feel like this game will be a little closer. But
we didn't see that last week with Brissett and Cooper, so maybe.
Yeah, it didn't look too well in Atlanta. Yeah. I'll say that. But I got the Chargers winning this one. Next, we have the Chicago Bears on the road playing my Minnesota Vikings.
Well, Justin Fields passed it 25 times this week. I don't know, man. I just have the Vikings.
I'll buy somebody lunch. I'll buy somebody lunch.
Man, I know Vegas odds over and under passing attempts for Justin Fields are going crazy on the under every time, but I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. I think that should be obvious. They're the more talented team. The Chicago Bears haven't given me a reason to show that they can do anything offensively. Defensively, I think they've been pretty solid in my opinion, but offensively they just don't have enough. You cannot play in an NFL game without passing the ball enough. Like that's the whole objective of the game. You need to score, and these guys cannot get it done only on the ground. You need to throw out the ball, and Justin Fields is unable to do that at this current moment. I mean, the guy broke 150 yards lady last week, the first time all season. So I just don't see a reason why they'd be able to beat the Vikings. I mean, we beat down the Bears, so and the Vikings look a little bit better than us right now. So I got the Vikings winning this.
Yeah, I got the Vikings coming in winning comfortably, man. Justin Fields is like me and him. We can come into the game, same game plan and everything. I can get you 100 yards passing the ball. He's an all-pro, play for Ohio State. You're paying him number 1, number 2 overall pick, and he can't get you above 130 pass yards in the game. That's kind of embarrassing. So just to base off the fact that their offensive, their quarterback's not there, the offensive line's not there in the pass game, but I expect them to come just run the ball, and that can get you as far as it can get you until you have to throw the ball. So Vikings, Cook, Jefferson, Thielen, Kirk Cousins, and hopefully the defense shows something this week and steps up. So I got the Vikings win.
Yeah, this one's an easy one for me. I'm going with my Minnesota Vikings. We're going to win this one pretty comfortably. Vegas got us at -7. I think we cover that. The Bears are just not a good team. And I feel like this week we're going to probably try to get Dalvin a lot more involved. Jefferson will, he'll put up his numbers. Adam Thielen will put up his numbers. But I'm predicting that Dalvin Cook has one of those games where he has like over 120 scrimmage yards and a touchdown. So the Vikings win this one. The next game, the Detroit Lions versus the New England Patriots. The Lions are on the road in this one.
What's the Vegas odds for this?
Patriots -3.
See, I was thinking about that. I don't know. I feel like I like the Lions a lot, but they've kind of burned me this season. Like I've picked them a lot and they've kind of burned me. And I'm just like, the Patriots still like somehow, some way they find a way to get the job done. And I just feel like defensively, the Lions they haven't looked good defensively. They've just been giving up big points, but on the other end, can the Patriots even put up big points? So like we know the Lions are guaranteed for like 25 a game, and the Patriots, I don't know offensively what they're going to be able to give. I mean, Mac Jones' twin, he was putting up Mac Jones numbers, so I don't know.
I don't pronounce his last name. It looks like it's like a Netflix version of Mac Jones, man.
Exactly, but I'm gonna go with the Lions here, man. I just feel like offensively they're gonna be able to get the job done. Defensively, of course, they've been shaky as always this entire season. But the Patriots offensively, I mean, outside of Damian Harris, can their pass catchers really be involved like that with a backup quarterback? I don't know. So I'm gonna go with the Lions here, but I would not be surprised if Bill Belichick gets the job done this week and he wins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions as well, man. I think St. Brown's gonna be back this week. Hopefully Swift comes back this week. They get DJ Shark back this week. So even if their defense is giving up a big amount of points, Mac Jones is not playing this week. Patriots are gonna rely heavily on the run game. Like I said, you rely heavily on the run game until you make a pass, and Netflix version of Mac Jones can't make that pass. So I got the Lions winning. I feel like if it becomes a shootout, Lions have the better offensive pieces, and they can win the game like that.
I'd easily pick the New England Patriots if they had Mac Jones starting for them on Sunday, but unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to play. So I'm going with the Lions because they'll probably have Amon-Ra back this week. DJ Chark will be back. I don't think Swift will play because I think their whole game plan with him is to rest him for these last couple of weeks leading up into the bye, and then have him come back fresh and healthy after the bye. So I have the Lions winning this one. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Seattle Seahawks on the road playing the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh, see, I'm gonna go with the Saints on this one. Like, and again, I don't know why I keep picking the Saints, man. This team just pisses me off, bro. They're so bad offensively, but I'm gonna go with these guys just on the fact that I feel like they just have, I don't even know, I can't even say playmakers at the moment because they still have DK and Lockett. Like, I'm so close to just picking the Seahawks, but I have a weird feeling the Saints are gonna pull this one out. Like, I refuse to believe that they go down this hole and they lose again this week. That's my reasoning for picking this team. I don't think offensively they've given me a reason to put them even above the Seahawks. But again, I just feel like their defense still actually has been playing pretty well considering the circumstances. Offensively, they just haven't been able to get the job done. So this might be one of those weeks where they finally put the pieces together offensively and they actually win this week. So that's why I got the Saints winning this, but I'm not confident in them at all. Like they've just dug themselves into a hole.
Gino. That's 3 Genos right there. We're going for our 3rd dub. We're cooking the Saints, man. That team is done. Like we haven't seen anything from that offense the last 4 weeks. And if they come into this week with Andy Dalton as their quarterback, all my money's on Geno Smith this week. Promise you, we're coming out with our 3rd dub. Let's go Seahawks. That's all.
That's crazy, man. I'm going with the Saints in this one. I think Michael Thomas.
Y'all two just hate the Seahawks. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna just stop it there.
No, I told you I would not be surprised if the Seahawks win this game. I would not be surprised.
Top left corner. He's gonna.
I hate Seattle. I'll be honest. I hate Seattle.
Yeah, at least he admits it. There we go.
I'm going with the Saints in this one though because I feel like I'm thinking Alvin Kamara, he'll be back this week. I'm thinking Michael Thomas will be back this week, and I feel like Andy Dalton at this point right now in the season is a better quarterback and a better fit for this team over Jameis Winston because Winston was playing hurt and he didn't look good. So I just feel like, their defense they've been looking pretty good. They didn't look that bad against us last week. Just Marshawn Lattimore, he just had a terrible day to be honest. But I don't think that DK, he'll be able to do what Justin Jefferson did to him. Seattle, of course, they're going to try to run the ball a little bit with Rashad Penny, especially with the week that he just had against Detroit. But I don't think that's going to work because the Saints have a good rushing defense. And so the Saints, basically with all their playmakers, Chris Olave playing well, being at home, they'll find a way to get the job done here. So will they cover the spread of -5.5? I don't think so. I think they'll win by 3, but I have the Saints winning this one. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins on the road playing the New York Jets.
Yeah, even if Tua was or wasn't gonna play, it doesn't matter. The Dolphins, they're the more talented team, and I feel like Teddy Bridgewater can get the job done, especially with the weapons that he has offensively. You have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Chase Edmonds. Like it's a more talented team, and their defense is solid. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here simply on the basis of they're the better team. And the Jets, they play anybody hard, and I would not be surprised if this is like a 3-point game, but. Again, they're the Dolphins are the more talented team, so I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here.
Yeah, I do believe the Dolphins are a much more talented team on the offensive end and the defensive end, so I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. But I expect a very close game from the Jets. I feel like the Jets.
I did forget to mention Sauce Gardner is a test. This is a test.
I'm gonna bring this up. Sauce Gardner got Waddle in the house. He got Tyreek Hill, so he got some big hitters coming in town, man. So we're gonna see. We're going to see. He hasn't been tested. I feel like he's been tested, but he hasn't really been tested. And this is his first test. So I feel like it's going to be a dogfight. Teddy B is going to have to work some magic to come out with the W. I feel like it's going to be a close game, but Miami's going to come out.
Yeah, I'm picking the Dolphins in this one. Like I said in our last episode, even with them losing to a mid-game against the Bengals, I still felt like Teddy Bridgewater was capable of winning that game. And this is the Jets. They're going to play him tough, but at the end of the day, Teddy Bridgewater, he's just going to make plays. And I feel like Sauce Gardner, he's going to have his hands full with Tyreek Hill this week. He played pretty well on Jamar Chase, but Tyreek Hill, he's a different animal. So it'll be a long day for him. But I got the Miami Dolphins winning this one. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Atlanta Falcons playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's crazy because both of these teams sit at 2-2 right now.
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers here. I feel like Tom Brady is coming to this game realizing he has to make a statement. And I feel like this is the week where he does that. I think, in my opinion, that they might even blow out the Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion, because I get they have not looked great offensively, but they have their playmakers back. And last week, I get it was game script dependent and they're trying to catch up the entire game, but they were putting the pieces together. So I feel like this is the week where they really pop off. Leonard Fournette, he finally goes above 100 rushing yards. I just feel like offensively that they put the pieces together and they blow up on the Falcons. So I got the Buccaneers winning this game.
I'm calling it. I think Brady gets his first 4-touchdown game of the season against the Falcons, man. So the last 4 games, he's been extremely slow. The offense has been extremely slow, unhealthy. But I feel like he got his pieces back. Godwin looked good last game towards the end. Like Abdi said, game script. They lost the fumble the first 20 seconds of the game. First 46 seconds, they gave up a touchdown. And then 2 minutes later, another touchdown happened. So they felt like they were chasing behind. They weren't really in the rhythm of the game, but I feel like this is the week they get their get back. 4 TDs. They put some points on the board and they look good.
Yeah, you say 4 TDs. I'm doubling down. I'm going 5 TDs. This is a get right game for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I know last week hurt. It was supposed to be a much better game. It wasn't supposed to be. The script wasn't supposed to be the way it was. Tom Brady, he's just going to come out here and take out all his anger and all of his frustration on this Atlanta Falcons team. So I'm expecting him to throw for five touchdowns and above 400 yards this Sunday. Chris Godwin's going to have a hell of a day. Mike Evans will have a hell of a day. And I feel like Leonard Fournette, he'll do most of his damage in the receiving game. So I had the Buccaneers winning this one pretty comfortably. I feel like they'll cover the spread pretty comfortably, -8.5. So they'll put up 40 points on this team. Next, the Tennessee Titans versus the Washington Commanders.
See, I know I said I wasn't gonna rock with Carson Wentz, but I feel like this is a trap game. This right here, what's the spread on this one?
Titans -2.5.
See what I mean? See what I mean? I'm telling you, that's a trap. So I'm gonna rock with Carson Wentz on this one, man. I'm gonna rock with Carson Wentz on the basis that they have more playmakers. I feel like still the Titans offensively, their plan is to just feed Derrick Henry and rely on our defense to get the job done. And I just don't think that's sustainable at this current moment, especially if they stack the box and they just don't have playmakers on the outside. And I don't trust Ryan. I think Ryan Tannehill, I can't trust him more than I can do with Carson Wentz. So I'm gonna rock with Carson Wentz on this game, just on the basis of they have more playmakers offensively. So I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, I'm picking the Titans just to base off Derrick Henry and that defense. I feel like they're gonna ride Derrick Henry again this week and trust that defense to hold the other team accountable and keep them to a low-scoring game. I am not picking Carson Wentz ever and ever. Like I said, all 17 games this year, I'm going against Carson Wentz, and so far, I won 3 of them. So continue on. Let's get this 4th W against Carson Wentz. Let's go Titans.
Yep, I'm right there with you, BH. I'm picking the Titans to win this game, simply because Derrick Henry is going to lead the way. Ryan Tannehill, they're not going to force him to make any big plays here. He's just going to have to game manage the game like he did last week and the week before that. Derrick Henry is just going to run all over this team. I don't think Carson Wentz will have enough time in the pocket to make some plays. I'm not too high on the Tennessee Titans defense, but that offensive line for the Washington Commanders hasn't been too great. And of course, with Carson Wentz, starting with their Carson Wentz being their starting quarterback, I can't trust that guy ever. So I'm going with the Titans in this one. Next, we have the Houston Texans on the road playing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars in this game. Last week it was tough showing for Trevor Lawrence. He just got harassed by the Eagles, and I feel like this week he's gonna be much better. Christian Kirk is gonna get back in the mix, and I'm just going with the Jaguars because I just feel like they're the better team right now between the two, and they've just been on the up. Of course, last week they stumbled, but I think they're gonna get right back up and win this game. Trevor Lawrence, man, he had a tough showing. I mean, what was it, 4 fumbles, I want to say, against that team. So I don't think the Texans are going to be able to replicate that. And again, Davis Mills up and down this season. He's had a lot of turnovers. He's been throwing picks and stuff. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars in this one.
Yeah, I'm picking the Jaguars. I don't expect Trevor Lawrence to come back and repeat what he did against the Eagles. 5 turnovers, 4 fumbles, 1 interception in that game. Not good. But this is the Texans we're talking about. So I expect them to come out, guns ablaze, and score a high-scoring game for them. Texans is similar. Like, they want to trust their defense. They want to trust the run game, but it's not working for them as much. So it's going to be a tough game for the Texans. I got the Jaguars coming out winning this one.
Yeah, I got the Jags winning this one. James Robinson will have a good game. I feel like they'll get Travis Etienne a lot more involved in this one. Last week against the Eagles, they put up a little bit of a fight and with the weather conditions and all that. But if Trevor Lawrence plays a little better, the outcome might be different. Or, we're talking about the Jaguars sitting here at 3-1. So, but at the end of the day, Texans, they're just not a good team. But there's some bright spots here and there, Derek Stingley Jr. and Damian Pierce. But other than that, they're gonna remain winless. So the Jaguars are gonna win this one. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers on the road playing the Carolina Panthers.
Baker Mayfield, man. We say his name weekly, man. That guy stinks. But I'm going to go with the Niners here. I just feel like they're gonna go back to what's been working. You see how they harassed. I just feel bad for Baker Mayfield against that front, man. He's gonna get abused. So I'm gonna go with the Niners in this game. They're just gonna stick with their rushing, their quick passing, and then let their playmakers run after the catch. We've seen guys like Debo, Kittle again. Like it's tough owning that guy in fantasy, man. Like his name value is just too high for me. Like I don't get it, but I feel like maybe this is a week that he can pop off. But again, they're gonna ride the running game and their defense. That's just who the Niners are. So I feel like it's gonna be similar affair to last week against the Rams. They're just gonna dominate the Carolina Panthers. So I got the Niners winning this game.
I hope this is Baker's last week starting in the NFL. I hope for CMC's sake. You got to get him out of there, put him on the bench, bring Sam Darnold back. But yeah, the Niners front seven, they're going to have a fun day against this Carolina offense. I feel like they're going to dominate. Nick Bosa right now, he's at 6 sacks so far in his first 4 games. Expect him to get another 3 in this game. He's leading so far in the defensive play of the year. This game might be a fun game for him. Maybe a forced fumble, maybe 2, couple sacks here and there. So Niners going to have a field day. They're going to trust Debo, trust the run game like they did last week, and come out with a W. And another thing about Kittle, I don't think Kittle's like the Kittle that he was when they went to the Super Bowl.
I feel like these guys are blocking tight end. Like
yeah, they don't involve him in the pass game as much as they used to. I seen the highlights of the season like that he had when they went to the Super Bowl. Comparison day and night, like he does not get
the guy's on the line 24/7.
I was seeing him go on streaks. I was seeing him go on post routes. He was playing all the way on outside. Now he's inside. He's playing fullback. He's blocking 88% of the time. So tough.
I feel like Kittle enjoys blocking more than he does catching the football.
Man,
so.
he does. It looks like he enjoys it. He's weird, but like, how about some pass catching? You know,
you gotta cast him in Game of Thrones. That guy would love it. You know, perfect character.
But I got the Niners winning this one. I feel like that Baker Mayfield, his time in Carolina will come to an end after this week. Because Sam Darnold, he's not going to be able to go in this one, but they're looking to bring him back next week. But it's just going to be a tough sledding for him playing that Niners defense. I mean, we saw what they did to Matthew Stafford, right? So it's going to be a lot worse to have Baker Mayfield. But the Niners will win this one pretty comfortably. Just running the ball, getting Debo, Ayuk involved, of course. Will they cover the spread -6.5? I'm going to have to say I don't think so. I think this game is probably a low-scoring affair, to be honest. I don't think they cover. -6.5 is a lot of points for a Niners team.
I think they cover. Simply based on the fact that Baker Mayfield cannot produce any type of offense.
I mean, he's gonna have to throw a few pick sixes, to be honest.
That Niners offense, they're gonna get more than 2 or 3 touchdowns on.
We're gonna have to wait and see. We'll go ahead and move on to what I believe is America's game of the week, featuring the Dallas Cowboys on the road playing the LA Rams.
Bro, I've been going against the Cowboys. You know what? I'm gonna do it again, man. I'm gonna go with the Rams in this one. Like, I get it. Their defense, like, I'm gonna eat my words the whole season. The Cowboys defense has looked legit, and again, I know the Rams got harassed by the Niners front, but I just feel like, at least on the Niners side of things, they have a better offense than what I get Cooper Rush he's been serviceable. He's been doing his job, but this is the week the Cooper Rush gimmick ends. Like, I have a good feeling this is the week that Cooper Rush gimmick ends. I don't know if Dak is available to play this week. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's not, right?
He's not. I don't think he's going to be able to play this week. Jerry Jones came out and said that he's not able to grip a football right now, so it's not looking too good.
So I was looking like it's still Cooper Rush, and I just feel like offensively, this is the week where Dallas finally struggles because I'm not buying this Cooper Rush gimmick. I get he's a manageable quarterback, but still, like, I just feel like the Rams have a statement to make after last week. They just got abused, and I get they haven't looked good, but I just believe that their offensively they're going to be much better. So I got the Rams winning this game.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I got the Rams getting their get back this week. I feel like last week it was just embarrassing. Primetime game, they come out, get embarrassed away. Very, very bad. So I feel like Cooper Rush, he's been, 3-0 this year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because Dak lost week 1.
Yeah, he's had a great year. But I feel like this is the week it kind of slows down. The week before Dak comes back, the offense kind of it takes a hit. And I just feel like Sean McVay is going to emphasize on involving everybody in the offense, getting A-Rob involved, getting Kupp. We already know Kupp's involved, but getting the run game involved, spreading the wealth out. that's how they're gonna win. That's how they won last year. But this year, I feel like they slowed that down. They got to pick it up. But give back week for the Rams and their defense. I feel like the defense is gonna have a phenomenal week.
If Dak Prescott was playing in this game, I would have easily picked the Cowboys. But honestly, I'm leaning towards the Cowboys right now, but I'm just gonna have to play it safe because after what Jerry Jones came out and said today, so I'm going with the Rams in this one. Will they look any better than they did against the Niners? Just a little bit. Of course, they're just gonna come in there with the same game plan. Let's get Cooper Kupp 15 plus targets. Let's get Tyler Higbee a lot of targets, and everybody else, you get your targets wherever you can, right? No, they're not gonna get anybody else involved outside of those two guys. Their run game, I don't think it'll be good this week. Because that Dallas defense is pretty good. I have to give it to them. But Trayvon Diggs, he's gonna have his hands full trying to contain Cooper Kupp if they ever line up against each other. So the Rams will win this one. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Philadelphia Eagles on the road playing the Arizona Cardinals.
Eagles 5-0. It's coming, man. They've just been the team to beat in the NFC, and they still will be after this week. I just can't trust the Cardinals after the first halves. Like, they still have not scored a touchdown in the first quarter. That's a crazy stat. No touchdown in the first quarter. And the Eagles, for majority of the season, they start off hot in the first half. So imagine you go scoreless in the first quarter. The Eagles are going to punish you for it. And again, Darius Slay versus Marquise Brown. I'm going to go with Darius Slay on that. And Marquise Brown's their biggest target. So if he's out the game, who can they really throw to? It's just going to be Kyler Murray trying to make plays with his feet, but I just don't think the Eagles are just too disciplined of a team to let them come back in the second half. So I got the Eagles winning this game. They're going to be 5-0 after this.
Yeah, I got the Eagles winning as well. Just the fact of like the Eagles offense, man, they look phenomenal, except for last week due to the weather, slow start first half, but they came back and punched the ball in the second half a couple times. So I like that offense. Defense, they've been holding people accountable during the second half, so even after slowing down on offense, they've been holding their own. So yeah, Arizona, you know me against Arizona. I don't like Arizona. Although they're 2-2 right now, I still predict them 5-12. I'm still riding that. Marquise Brown against Darius Slay. It's gonna be a tough day. Other than that, man, they really don't got other playmakers. So we got the Eagles 5-0 coming out, number one in the NFC.
Yeah, I think Abdi said it best. The Cardinals, of course, not being able to score in the first quarter, compared to an Eagles team that they come out red hot. So the Eagles are going to win this one pretty comfortably. They'll cover the spread -5. So Eagles go 5-0, best team in the NFC, best team in the NFL. So we're going to be talking about them again on Monday. So we'll go ahead and move on to our Sunday night football matchup. This is actually a good one. Cincinnati Bengals on the road playing the Baltimore Ravens.
This is very tough for me. This is very, very tough. What's the spread on this?
Baltimore -3, but don't go against your boy.
This is a very tough one, but I'm gonna rock with Lamar Jackson. I'm not gonna turn against my boy. I think he's gonna win this week. This is a huge divisional game, and I don't know, like the Bengals, like defensively, they haven't been the same Bengals team as last year. And the thing is, though, like they're not gonna be able to punish Lamar Jackson in this game. I feel like defensively, in my opinion, they've been the worst defense in that division, right alongside the Ravens, because the Ravens, like, I get. Outside of that, the Tua gimmick game, they've had their moments. Like you mentioned last week in the first half against Josh Allen, they played pretty well against him. I feel like they've had their moments. In the Bengals last year, they got red hot towards the end of the season, and I just feel like defensively they haven't been as good this season. And I'm gonna rock with Lamar Jackson just because he's Lamar Jackson. I think he's gonna get the job done against Joe Burrow. You heard the comparisons, and disrespectful in my opinion, but he's gonna get the job done this week. I feel like he knows that last week was unacceptable and the bad performance he had, so I'm gonna rock with them. So I got Lamar Jackson win this week, man.
Man, big dilemma, man. He's two of my favorite quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I got Lamar Jackson on one side, and I got Joe Burrow on the left side. I don't know who to go for. But coming into this game, I feel like Lamar Jackson got something to prove. There's just something to prove.
You heard that Joe Burrow talk, bro.
Last week was Josh Allen. Now it's this week. Yeah, he lost to Josh Allen. Joe Burrow's gonna take care of him. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. We've seen Cincy this year. Their offense hasn't been really fantastic the first 4 weeks, and their defense, like last year, their defense really carried them into the Super Bowl and into the playoffs. Like, it was a big part of their game that they used last year to make the Super Bowl. This year, they haven't looked that well. So feel like Lamar, he's gonna come in. The little issues they have, the little problems they have on the defensive side, I feel like they can come in and fix up. Some of the drops they had against Josh Allen, I hope they don't have against Joe Burrow. Like a couple of them can change the plays, but Lamar, keep your foot on the gas and just keep going. I feel like if he gets into that game, it just goes. It's not a great defense he's playing, so he can have a field day. Let's go. I'm rocking with the Ravens.
Once again, I'm going to have to say thank you for giving me a free point. I said this last week when I picked the Bills and you guys took the Ravens. I'm saying it again. I got the Bengals winning this one simply because even though their defense hasn't looked the best, their defense compared to the Baltimore Ravens defense is like night and day. And I'm going to rock with the Bengals. Outside of their defense, just look at their offense. Last time Jamar Chase played this team, he put up 200 yards on 8 catches and a touchdown. And we all know this secondary, and I mean, the Baltimore Ravens defense as a whole, they don't have guys that can lock up these guys like T. Higgins and Chase. Mixon will do pretty well this week. And Joe Burrow, he's going to have enough time in the pocket, even though his O-line looked like trash the very first 3 weeks. These last couple of weeks, they've only given up 3 sacks. So that investment's paying off. So, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they're going to have a field day on this defense. Lamar Jackson, he can do all he wants on his side of the ball, but the defense is not going to be able to hold up. So Joe Burrow comes in. The Baltimore Ravens -3. I don't know, man. I'm going. Bengals are going to win this one by a touchdown. So
Bengals, it's at Cincinnati, right?
It's in Baltimore.
Oof. Yeah, I'm rocking with Lamar Jackson.
It could be play anywhere, to be honest. I'm not going against Joe Burrow playing this Baltimore Ravens defense with all the playmakers he's got. So the Bengals win this one. We'll go ahead and move on to our Monday Night Football game that closes out Week 5. The Las Vegas Raiders on the road playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm not gonna go against Mahomes again. Like I promise you, I'm not going against Mahomes. I'm just gonna rock with Mahomes, and that's literally the end of it. Like guy's ridiculous, man. I feel like we keep overlooking how amazing this guy is as a quarterback. So I'm gonna go with Mahomes simply on the fact that he's playing the best football in the NFL right now as a quarterback. He's leading the MVP race. So I'm gonna rock with Mahomes in this one, man. Simple as that. You're muted.
Your mic.
I'm rocking with the Chiefs, man. I'm not rocking with the Raiders. I'm not rocking with Derek Carr. I'm not picking Derek Carr against Mahomes. Hey, you know how absurd that is? You know how crazy do I like do? Am I gonna say, yeah, I'm sitting down here, I'm gonna pick Derek Carr instead of Mahomes? Nah, I'm rocking with the Chiefs. Mahomes gonna come in, he's gonna torch that defense. It's gonna be a fun day for the Chiefs.
Wait, what's the spread on this?
I feel like it's close.
Let me check.
I mean, because like the reason why is the Raiders play the hearts out against the Chiefs always.
Nah, not last year. I feel
last
like
year they got blown out.
There was 2 games that got blown out. It was
Chiefs
like,
-7.
Nah, that's not too bad.
I don't know.
I mean,
I can see why someone would argue the Raiders because like they're coming in like, yo, this is a huge divisional game. Like if we win this, like we're right back in the race for this division. But I just can't go against Mahomes, man. And Derek Carr and the other side.
It's the same thing we said last week. It's like, oh, Tom Brady against Mahomes, but Tom Brady owns Mahomes. It's the same way Mahomes owns Derek Carr. I gotta pick that. Yeah, you gotta go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. But the Raiders, they'll put up a fight in this one. They got the playmakers to put up a fight. I mean, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, if he's able to play this week, Darren Waller. They got Josh Jacobs involved last week, so I'm expecting them to, keep giving him the ball, keep giving him touches. But at the end of the day, their defense is terrible compared to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, they don't have a bad defense at all. They look pretty damn good. So at the end of the day, it'll be an interesting game, interesting Monday night game. But the Chiefs, they're gonna put up a lot of points and win this game. So I have the Chiefs winning this one. But with that being said, that pretty much wraps up Week 5. Looking forward to another week of football. But now it's time to start talking about a little bit of basketball, a little bit of NBA. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to be giving our standing predictions for the Eastern Conference. As always, we're going to start from 1 to 10, one all the way down to 15, but we'll go ahead and stop at 10, and then we'll go ahead and talk more in depth of why we have teams here and there. So let's kick us off, Abdi.
So number 1, I have the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Nets, Miami, the Raptors, the Cavs, the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Knicks at 10. So that's my top 10, man. That's my top 10, man.
That's interesting. I can't lie. That's interesting.
All right. So for me, I got 1 Bucks, 2 Boston, 3 Sixers, 4 Nets, 5 Cavs, 6 Hawks, 7 Miami, 8 Toronto, 9 Bulls, 10 Wizards.
Ooh, so you have Miami what at 7?
Miami at 7.
That's a bit too low in my opinion, but I'll go ahead and list off my 10. I have the Bucks 1, 2 Celtics, 3 Nets, 4 76ers, 5 Miami, 6 Cavs, 7 Bulls, 8 Hawks, 9 Raptors, and 10 Hornets.
Damn, you low on the Raptors like that.
I mean, the Raptors, they're a hard. They play.
Really?
Wait, hold up.
The Hornets at 10?
Wait. Who'd you have at 10?
The Hornets.
The Charlotte Hornets.
But the Hornets are going to be in the lottery. What are you talking
Come
about?
on. Like, no.
They're not going to be in the lottery.
They're going to be in the lottery, bro. I'm telling you right now.
No, they're not 10. They're not going to be a 10 seed.
They're going to be a 10 seed, bro.
Do you know where I have the Hornets? I have them dead last.
Please. I have Hornets at.
I have them at 15. I literally have them at last in the entire conference.
I ain't gonna disrespect them like that. I got them at 12, but they're down there.
No, I legit have them last. Right?
They're down there. I don't know how you got
the Hornets. These last couple of years, they're just like a mid team, like
okay, but
500
look,
team.
Is Miles what's his Miles Bridges playing?
Bro, they didn't even offer him.
I don't think he's playing this year.
Yeah, so he's out the door, right?
He's out there.
So
He's one of the best players.
So you're left with Terry Rozier and LaMelo. That's it.
And Cody Zeller.
I mean, I feel like they're good enough to make the 10th seed.
No,
you guys you're overhyping the Knicks. I'm assuming you guys all have
no, don't worry. The Hornets.
Are the Hornets a better team than the Wizards?
No,
yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
The Hornets are looking to get Victor Wembanyama. I'm telling you that right now. That's what they're aiming at.
School Henderson or Bamba, man.
They're looking to get those two. There's no way the Hornets are finishing in a play-in. Absolutely not. They got worse from last year. It's just not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. Well, you can say that, but for me, hell no.
I'm curious though. Why do you have Miami that low?
Me?
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't get any better this year. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like they did not get any better this year. And the two teams that, like I said, it can be interchangeable with the Hawks and the Cavs. I feel like those 3 teams right there, they can switch from 5, 6, and 7.
See, I have Miami at 5, Raptors at 6, and Cavs at 7, right? But I wanted to put Cavs at 5 because the thing is, I'm a Heat fan, but like my issue is we have no 4, right? We have no power forward, and like our aim was to get Donovan Mitchell and Kevin Durant. We didn't get either of those two, right? So in my opinion, I think what Pat Riley is assuming is, okay, Bam is going to take another step and Tyler Hero is going to take another step and Jimmy Butler is still going to be Jimmy Butler. And then Kyle Lowry comes back to whatever version we're expecting of Kyle Lowry 2021. That's what I think the Heat are envisioning. The reason why I have Miami at 5 is because of the Spoelstra. Like he's just one of those coaches that turn water into wine. That's the type of coach that he is. Like he can work with a lot. But again, like it's hard assessing this team without a power forward. And like, is this a year Miami like really falls off? Like, I don't know. Like it's tough.
For me, it's 100%. Is Bam going to take that next step? Like,
it's really dependent on that because like Jimmy Butler's old. Jimmy Butler's getting old,
but he's still a great player. And I feel like Hero once he comes back again this year, I feel like Hero's going to be that same player he was during the bubble season. He was a fantastic player. He just got paid recently. I feel like he's gonna come. He's gonna show up. He's gonna cook. But...
You know what's crazy? I'm like one of the minor Miami Heat fans that don't have anything against Tyler Hero. Like, I don't get the hate.
There's a lot of people that hate him. I don't know why. I do not know why.
Just because he snarled at LeBron, like he did a little smirk at LeBron. Like, come on,
like come on, man.
No, like to me, it's the assessment of Tyler Hero is. I get it. Like he's not a great defender. Like forget about that. He's not a good defender. But again, like the guy's a really good shot creator. In my opinion, he's in that mold of the guys like Jordan Poole, Anthony Simons, that category of players. He's right there with them. So it's just really dependent on can those two guys take a leap because that's what I think Pat Riley is banking on. But I don't know, man. Like Miami's hard to assess right now.
I mean, if you're paying a guy 4 years, 130 million, you gotta take a leap, man. There's no question about that. I want to talk about where you guys have the Nets. I have them at 3, and you guys, I think you guys mentioned what around 4 or 5.
I have them at 4.
For me as well, this one right here, I kind of had it as well. Boston, Philadelphia, and the Nets. I feel like those 3 teams are another 3 teams that from the 2, 3, and 4 seed, it can be interchangeable for all 3 of those teams.
I think you're disrespecting the Celtics, though. I think they're.
Do you guys feel
it's
like
top
Robert
two.
Williams being like injured, is that gonna affect with the Celtics?
They paid Gallo. He's done for the year.
Robert Williams hurt.
hurt.
So do you guys feel like that's still like
and
the
like
Celtics can be second?
Another point is like they lost Ime for a year. Like that coach, hey, you gotta pay some respect to him. He did a lot to change.
I
that
feel like there is that it like no matter how we view it, that still causes like some locker room issues. Like there's like
it's still
like
gonna
you
be
losing like you lose a coach that took you to the NBA finals. That's
And a
that's-
lot of people, I feel like, some people might think, hey, he didn't deserve that suspension. He should still be here with us. It's whatever, blah blah blah, and it might mess up the locker room. It depends on what happens. But like I said, Boston, and Philadelphia. There's one day.
Robert Williams though. Like
How long is he out for Robert Williams?
I know
It's the same-
originally it's like
the same
8 to
knee
12
injury.
weeks. It's the
Yeah,
same
8
knee.
to 12, 8 to 12 weeks.
So it's the same knee injury.
This time, I feel like this time though they fully cleaned it out. They said
Yeah.
full on recovery. You're gonna be good to go. But 8 to 12 weeks is a lot.
Because like
I
I
s-
envision I don't know, I envision like the Boston Celtics getting off to a slow start. Because like historically, like these last 2 seasons, that's how they generally are. They get to a
Mhm.
really slow start. So and Jason Tatum first halves compared to second halves is like night and day. So can this be the time where the Boston Celtics finally put it together and they get off to a hot start? I don't know. I could potentially see them starting off 5-12. Really, like it's a possibility. But at the same time, like I feel like they're just gonna ride off that consistency they had the second half last season. So I
But
got them at second.
I still have him at 2 though. Maybe
Robert Williams is
I'm
a
keeping
missile.
I'm keeping them at 2 because even though Robert Williams, he's a big loss for them. I feel like they still have pieces. They're just gonna shift Al Horford to the 5, to sub in Grant Williams at the 4. You know,
Williams killed me, man.
Hey,
It's
he
hilarious.
helps the team.
Prospect
Though.
build.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, he helps the team.
Yeah,
though.
he puts in work, man.
100%. So
He puts in work.
it works for the Celtics, but I don't know if any other team would work.
He's a prospect.
Wait,
man.
honestly, I don't think they have to bring in Grant Williams. I just forgot they signed Malcolm Brogdon, so they'll probably have a
But-
backcourt
but-
of
but even-
Brogdon and Smart.
You're gonna have Jason Tatum at the 4 though.
Even like Al Horford's the only big. Like you got come on.
Al
Williams
Horford-
is
So
all-
who's gonna have to take the boot and hit the bench in that lineup? Then?
I think Malcolm
starting?
Brogdon's gonna be a 6-man.
the starting? What was the starting lineup? It was Smart, Brown,
Brown,
Tatum,
Al Horford,
Will.
Al
Rob
Horford
Will.
and Robert Williams.
So 2 bigs in those.
So Rob
rest of the
Will's
team.
gone right now, right?
Yeah.
They'll probably just-
I don't know if they're gonna sustain Al Horford at the 5. They know they have to
But-
preserve
but-
him.
But at the same time, though, the league's kind of switched. Tatum could play that 4. If you really look at it,
It's
though.
a
I feel
lot
like
of-
Tatum really could play that 4.
That's a lot of physicality to deal with.
It is a lot of
starting.
physicality, but it's physicality that he needs because you look at last year in the finals, man. Every time he attacked the rim, it was kind of soft. So
Yeah,
man,
I
I
have
don't
the
know.
Celtics at 2, but
Yeah.
like the reason why I have the Sixers at 3 is just like I just feel like offensively they're just gonna be way more consistent this season. I think they are gonna work at load managing Embiid. I understand that, but he's still gonna play at an MVP level regardless. And really, they're banking on 2 things: a James Harden bounce back and a Tyrese Maxey leap. That's what the 2 crucial parts of the Sixers being able to finish 3rd seed. And again, we've seen James Harden, regardless of how bad he was offensively, scoring wise, playmaking wise, he was phenomenal. And so for them coming into this season, they're banking on James Harden coming back to 100%, Tyrese Maxey taking a leap, and they picked up pieces. They got a lot of physicality now. They picked up PJ Tucker, they picked up DeAnthony Melton, Daniel House, and again, those are underrated pickups. They're not there to like make the team like wildly contenders, but they're there to have an extra spot on the team. So to me, I just
Some
feel
of those guys are only there
yeah,
because
hold on.
Daryl Morey is the
Hey,
general
they
manager
picked
of
up-
that
they
Okay,
team.
you
picked
see,
apart
okay.
attention, huh?
DeAnthony Melton's good though. DeAnthony Melton's good though. DeAnthony Melton's a
DeAntoney
good
Melton's
player.
good.
He's
though.
all right.
No, he's a
all
good
right.
play. He's a very solid
He's a-
player to
he's
have.
an all
like,
right point guard, man.
He's a solid player to have. PJ Tucker, he was solid for us in Miami. He was solid for the Bucks. So why couldn't he be solid for the Sixers? So, and again, they still have guys like Tobias Harris. And no matter how you view Tobias Harris, I rate Tobias Harris. I think he had a good playoffs last season. And so, to me, I just feel like the Sixers just can be a lot more
I
consistent.
need to see more. I need to see more consistency from Tobias Harris. I ain't gonna lie to you. The
Yeah.
amount of money. The
But
amount of money
the
they
thing
pay-
about
That's
it is
the
not-
worst
he's a
contract in
he's
the
a four-
NBA, in
Think
my
about it, though. He's a
Yeah,
fourth
I'm
seed.
putting
though.
him down
I mean,
there.
he's a 4th option now. So he's kind of chilling if you think about
Yeah.
it. Just hit your open shots, shot create here and there, and you're vibing. That's literally it. So
I just hope the Sixers they find a nice left bench seat for Tybull. You know, because it's not.
I
gonna
seen the
start
off-season
well.
pics. It's an off-season videos of him shooting, man.
It's not. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. It's not gonna work. But I was watching Maxey the other day on the preseason game. That guy's offense it's outrageous.
That guy's
phenomenal.
ridiculous.
I feel like
Ridiculous.
I feel like on the offensive, if you take out the playmaking and the facilitating, you got Embiid 1A. I feel like Maxey got to be the 2 for the as a scoring option for the Sixers. I feel like Harden,
that's not going to win you a championship.
That's not going to win you a championship.
No, I don't think that's going to be the case at all. Like, but at the same time, like Maxey, think about Maxey as a 3rd option. That's ridiculous to me.
It's
like,
ridiculous.
He was already efficient as a 2nd option before James Harden came. So now he's going to be a 3rd option, banking on whether James Harden can be 100% this season. And really, like, Tyrese Maxey, like amongst young prospects, like guys like Jordan Poole,
he's the
best out of those guys.
He's the best young prospect, but like
he's not better than Jordan Poole. You guys are crazy.
100%.
We can talk about that another day. But last year during the playoffs, I feel like towards the end of the game, sometimes he will take a seat back to Embiid and Harden, and he'll let them do their thing, and he'll just kind of wander off into the corner and be a corner shooter.
That's what he has to do, though. On this team.
Doc Rivers even talked about that to him, though. Doc Rivers, if you guys see those clips where they're like of the preseason and stuff, he was talking to Maxey. He was like sometimes you have to just take initiative, call stuff like.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, come take more initiative for the game.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to see from him. But Sixers at 3, I feel like it's a good spot for them, especially on the defensive end. They're going to be a much better defensive team if healthy. But yeah, the Nets at 4 though.
They're not a better team than the Nets, man. You guys are ridiculous right now, man. The Nets, even with no true center outside of Claxton.
What's the over under on how many games Kyrie's going to play this year?
He's playing the full season. What do you mean? Unless he gets hurt.
Can we really say he's going to play the full season?
I'll say he touches 55, 60 games for sure. Because there's no vaccination thing.
I expect them to play at least 55 games.
Like, okay, the reason why I have the Nets.
There's going to be some games they're going to load manage and stuff like that, but 55 games is
the reason why
every team's going to load manage.
Yeah,
of course. The reason why I have the Nets at 4 is, and why I can't have them better than the Sixers is legit. I just feel like the center position is in question for them right now, and just a lack of wing defenders. I just feel like perimeter wise, they only have really like Ben Simmons. You have Ben Simmons, and that's practically it for them. And I feel like they lack a lot in physicality in terms of rebounding and rim protection. That's like where it's harming them. And I get they picked up guys like Royce O'Neal and TJ Warren, but that's not going to help you with physicality in terms of rebounding and rim protection. Time
TJ Warren
TJ Warren hasn't played since the bubble, bro. Like,
yeah, it's been a while for him.
It's been a while.
I know he dropped 50 on the team. They gave him a contract. He disappeared after that. Like, it was just like, hey, I got my money. I'm gone.
Yeah.
For me, it's the depth on the next bench that it doesn't equate to a lot of teams. Like, especially if their go-to lineup's going to be a bunch of small guys with Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Kyrie on the court. You're going to put Ben Simmons at the 5 and KD at the 4? Defensively,
you can't have that.
It's not going to work defensively.
Yeah.
Based off
in certain situations.
Certain situations against certain teams, yes. Certain situations against certain teams.
It's not going to be extended whatsoever.
To me, teams like the Sixers, the Bucks, the Boston, teams that can actually be physical with him, is going to be very, very tough for them to get by them.
Ben Simmons at the 5 is just not going to work.
I'm not sure about the Sixers, but every other team, I hear you.
If you're going with Ben Simmons at the 5, it's going to be tough.
No, Ben Simmons.
Of course, because Embiid's going to do his thing on that.
No. Regardless, I'm telling you guys right now, regardless of whoever they're playing, they can play Jakob Poeltl from the Spurs. It doesn't matter. Like, Ben Simmons at the 5 is not a viable solution because I don't get why we treat Ben Simmons like he's Draymond Green. They're not the same type of player. Draymond's a generational defender. Like, this guy is one of one when it comes to defense. And it's just like people getting this 2K mentality of like Ben Simmons is 6'11", athletic, he could play center. You guys see Giannis play center, and there's times where he's legit struggled playing center because playing center requires a lot of rim protection and a lot of rebounding and a lot of physicality, right? And it makes more sense to have Giannis at the 4 than the 5, even though it seems like a cheat code lineup to have Giannis at the 5. So now you imagine a guy who's worse offensively than Giannis and worse defensively in terms of rim protection. It's just not going to work for them. And KD, of course, we know he's not going to play the 5. He's going to get killed. So that's the reason why. And like, you know what's crazy? I low-key like Nick Claxton. Don't kill me for that. I like Nick Claxton, man.
Hey, he was cooking in the preseason game yesterday, man.
I like.
They found him a lot on offense. He's always open.
I like Nick Claxton. I feel like
you're the only guy I know that actually watched Nick Claxton off-season highlights, off-season film.
Trust me, I feel like there's a player there, Nick Claxton. He's athletic. He's long. Like, he has potential to be a very solid center for them if he takes another step. But again, that center position and the lack of perimeter defenders is why I just can't have the Nets just quite in the top 3.
Me neither. It's like the lack of physicality, lack of depth on the wing position. Just you got KD and Simmons. That's the only 2 and no bigs. But for me, it's that 4 spot's like, hey, you got that star power. You have KD, you have Kyrie. Those two can carry you to a top 3 seed. So we can't forget who KD is. So we'll see what happens. But I got
you got KD, you got Kyrie, and then
no,
you just
please
got to.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
I
Don't say
know.
his name.
I'm gonna say this. You just got to slot Ben Simmons in there and let him play make a little bit. Because if he's a primary ball handler, we're seeing Kyrie come off the ball a little bit and dribble handoffs and stuff like that. I think the offense for them, the sky's the limit for them offensively, because you're gonna throw in a Seth Curry in the lineup a little bit. Joe Harris is gonna be coming back. Royce O'Neal, 3-and-D guy that they got from Utah. I feel like they're gonna be able to make this lineup situation work. They're just gonna have to play their cards right. I'm not too entirely sure if Ben Simmons and Nick Claxton could be on the floor at the same time offensively, because those are two guys that can't shoot. But Ben Simmons, him being able to play make, it helps. It's gonna help this team a lot. So that's why I feel like they're gonna be able to be a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference. And the 76ers, man, the only reason why I'm not high on this team is just one guy and one guy only, man. It's this guy, James Harden. I just don't believe he's gonna go back.
It's kind of funny though. Like
Hey, but we're talking
about regular season
though. Regular season.
Yeah, it's crazy. Whenever you talk about James Harden, you bring up the regular season.
Okay, in the past conversations we had, everything was brought from 2015, choking to Manu Ginobili to him getting benched against.
Yeah, I hear you guys. He's a regular season guy.
Just keep it regular season.
He's a regular season guy, but I don't know. I just feel like this Nets team, even though they lack physicality and they lack big men, they're still offensively. I feel like they're a lot better than the Sixers team. Don't call me crazy on this one.
Nah, I can't have that.
You don't have a guy like James. You don't have a guy like Kevin Durant on your team, or a guy like Kyrie Irving.
No, you have a guy like Joel Embiid. Stop mentioning Kyrie Irving, please. Like I've had this discussion about Kyrie Irving. Let's stop mentioning KD. Okay, fine, that's KD. He's the top 5 scorer in the league. But there's still a guy named Joel Embiid, and you have a nice player in Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden is still James Harden, and you have Tobias Harris there. Offensively, they're going to be better than the Nets. Book it.
We're gonna have to wait and see on that one, but I think that wraps up for our top 5. I mean, we didn't say a word about the Milwaukee Bucks,
who's your 5?
Bucks, Celtics, Nets, 76ers, Heat.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't say a word about the Bucks, man. I feel like we just know
we
know what they're gonna do this year, man.
This year, it's everything. Last year, kind of unhealthy. A couple of their big stars missed a couple of games. You had Holiday miss a lot of games. You had Middleton miss a lot of games. You had Brook Lopez, I think, missed the first 25 to 30 games of the season.
He missed majority of the season. He came back
in
like March.
Majority of the season, yeah. So, and they were still top 2 seed, but hey, if they're healthy, that number 1 seed is locked for sure.
But there's no player that's more try-hard in the regular season than Giannis. So
yeah. He loves it like that. It's corny. It kind of corny, but he likes
hilarious. It. The guy is a generational motor, bro. It doesn't matter where he's playing.
24/7, he got to go to work. He's just like, I got to play ball. I got to play ball.
The guy's
I respect it though, man. I'm a fan of the guy. I ain't gonna lie.
The guy's ready to hoop, man.
Yeah, these guys, when they're healthy, the Milwaukee Bucks, man, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, and then they're the team to beat. Even though they didn't win it last year, they didn't come out
the best team in the
East.
NBA.
If they didn't come out of the East last year, it doesn't matter. This year, they're the team to beat. But I feel like there's a little bit of a debate here between 6 through 10, starting with our number 6 spot. I feel like, when I was making my list
for Cavs, so I wanted to speak on the Cavs before we get off the 5.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the Cavs team this year, man. Like last year, there were 6 before, if I'm correct, Jared Allen went down with an injury. And then what's his face?
They were like the 3rd seed. They were
the 3rd seed. So they lost Jared Allen at the 3rd seed. They kind of went down to like 5 or 6. And then they lost what's the rookie's name that they had? Evan Mobley. He gets hurt. They go down to the 7th, 8th seed, and they end the playoff bracket, the playing bracket. I feel like this year with Donovan Mitchell and that team fully healthy, man, it's to the stars. They can end up top 4. They can end up top 3. Who knows what they can end up with? But they got some young talent. Darius Garland. They got Donovan Mitchell, bona fide top 2, maybe top 3 shooting guard of the league. And then the supporting cast with Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Kevin Love. Who else am I missing? They got a couple young pieces on that bench too. But I feel like the Cavs, they're gonna be a nice squad this year.
I think, as we mentioned in previous episodes about this Cavaliers team, I mean, they're defensively, that backcourt, they're gonna get cooked. And like when you compare the Cleveland Cavaliers to like the rest of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, teams like the Bucks, the Celtics, the Nets, even the 76ers, and I'll throw in the Miami Heat in this one as well, because of Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Where do those two guys, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, rank when you compare them against all these top 5 teams that I have right here and their star players like Jason Tatum, JB, Middleton, Giannis, KD, Kyrie, Harden, Embiid, and Jimmy Butler, and I'll throw in Bam Adebayo on this one. So, like, where do they line up?
Mitchell holds his own. We know Mitchell can hold his own on top with those guys, but obviously it's the Darius Garland factor. He's not at that star level yet. He's a great, fantastic player. He averaged 24 points last year? Or was it
like 22 and like
22?
11, something like that.
22 and 11. He's a solid player for a good Cavs team, but I don't see him at that Kyrie level or that Harden or that 2B level that Embiid, KD have. Tatum has Jaylen Brown. I don't see him at that level. I don't see him that for Donovan Mitchell. But what I see for the Cavs is they got a very good team. They got a great starting five and some depth on the bench. Jared Allen and Mobley, they're two great players. We can't sleep on that.
I mean, I feel like they lost a lot of their depth when they traded for Donovan Mitchell. The guy that they drafted, Agbaji, he was supposed to be that three. He was supposed to slide in that 3 spot this upcoming year. And then, of course, losing Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton. Those are two key pieces these last couple of years. A guy like Donovan Mitchell, I'm hoping it pays off for them, but
I don't know, like to play devil's advocate, I get where like to understand like the Cavs, right? Like it's less about their 2 stars matching up like in comparison to the other stars. It's more so about their roster construction because like regardless, like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, that's like a defensive front court. That's a monster front court when it comes to the defensive end. Because when Jared Allen went out, that's when their defense kind of tanked. So having those two back,
Mobley went out too. So
it's more so like I kind of think of it like in the same idea of like the Timberwolves, right? I feel like the Timberwolves are going to be a very, very, very solid regular season team. I think they're going to be really good in the regular season, but come playoff, it might be a different story. I think that might be the situation with the Cavs. Come playoff time, the lack of a wing might end up hurting them. But like overall roster construction, I know I said that backcourt is going to give up a lot of points, and they might end up doing that. But again, Darius Garland's an all-star point guard, and you have an all-star shooting guard in an all-NBA shooting guard in Donovan Mitchell. So I feel like and then all-star center in Jared Allen. So and a rising second-year player in Evan Mobley. So who knows how that's why I was close to just switching the Cavs to the 5th seed, but it's on the basis of giving Spoelstra the benefit of the doubt and Jimmy Butler. So
to me, I don't see it as these 2 all-stars or these 2 all-stars where they branch up, but it's the complete team. You know, the whole team wins you games, not just 2 players. So out of the fact of Jared Allen and Mobley, that those 4 right there is a solid 4 compared to a lot of other 4s. You're gonna say Nick Claxton and Ben Simmons, like those 2 guys. Come on,
man.
Chilling Nick Claxton, man.
Come on, man. We got a Nick Claxton fan in here. The Atlanta Hawks. I know we talked about comparing their backcourt with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This was another team that I wanted to throw in the top 5, but
top 5?
I don't know.
You know, I went back on this, man. I can't rate the Hawks right now. I just can't. And like I know we said we had a discussion regarding the backcourts of the Hawks and the Cavs, but I think the Cavs are a better backcourt. And I understand one backcourt has Trae Young, but that fit of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, it still gets weirder and weirder in my head. Like DeJounte Murray is a natural point guard in how he plays. Like if you guys seen how he was playing for the Spurs, the guy averaged like almost 9 assists a game last year for them. And like, what is his role in this offense? Like I feel like the Cavs backcourt is so clear cut. Darius Garland is a point guard. Donovan Mitchell's going to be off the ball. He's going to be moving around. Now you have a situation where DeJounte Murray, he's a shooting guard for them, but what is his role going to be offensively? He can't really shoot that well from the outside. He has a pretty good mid-range. He's probably going to be cutting a lot. But again, I feel like this is going to be more of a situation where they're going to be staggering minutes. Of course, they're going to be sharing the court together, but this is more so to help Trae Young have an extra ball handler. And like, it'll really all depends on like, can Trae Young mold this game a little bit more to off ball? That's the biggest question mark around the Hawks. And for me, that front court, it's not as good as the Cavs front court, simply put. Like John Collins, I don't believe in John Collins. I don't think he's a really good player like that. I don't rate John Collins like that. Capella, he's fallen off defensively since his 2021 season. And DeAndre Hunter, like he's taken steps. He had a pretty good playoff series against us, like towards the last 2 games. But again, like I just comparison in terms of roster with the Hawks and the Cavs, I think the Cavs are easily better.
I do believe the Cavs are easily better, but like you said about the off-ball, like the off-ball Trae Young playing more off-ball, there's a reason they got Dejounte Murray for that. They knew Dejounte Murray is not the second scoring option that they needed for their team. I feel like the Hawks last year, they needed that second scoring option after Trae Young, and they didn't have that. John Collins wasn't that option. They paid him good money, but he still wasn't that option. feel like they want Trae Young to play more off ball. Dejounte Murray can get his points on fast breaks. He's not a bad scorer. He can get to the rim. He can get his own buckets. He doesn't need anybody to facilitate or play make for him. But for him to do it for Trae Young's offense it can open up a lot of games. They got Bogdanovich. They still have Huter, right? Or they traded Huter to the Spurs.
They traded him to the Kings, I believe.
To the Kings?
Yeah.
So it's Bogdanovich still.
They have
DeAndre
Hunter. He's still there. DeAndre Hunter, John Collins,
and Capella.
And Capella. Hey, it's not a bad roster. I don't think it's better than the Cavs, but if they can make it work, man, sky's the roof for them.
They just got to play, like I said in the previous episode when we talked about this team. They got to play Trae Young in a Steph Curry type of role, man. Like off the ball completely, getting shots up off screens and stuff like that. Because DeJounte Murray, he's gonna have to have the ball in his hands for like a lot of the time. And the only reason why they brought him here is because nobody on that last year's Hawks team could really like facilitate the offense and run the offense and dribble the ball like that. Nobody could really play make and be that secondary ball handler to Trae Young. So with these guys, Bogdanovich and Hunter, those guys are just really like, Hunter's more of like a shoot 3-and-D, shoot a little bit of a slashing game to him. And then Bogdanovich, he can score the ball a little bit. So I think DeJounte Murray, his role in this team is to, of course, facilitate the offense and then try to get points where he can inside the paint. But I feel like this fit can be really good if they could just get off to like a really hot start, because in the Eastern Conference, especially when we look at the teams from like 6 through 10, you really can't afford to start off the season slow and try to figure out, who you guys are as a team, because even the teams that we haven't even discussed yet in the play that I have in the play outside of the play-in, like the Knicks, the Wizards, the Pistons, the Pacers, the Magic. Well, not the Magic, but I'll stop at the Wizards. The Knicks and Wizards, those two teams, like if they can figure their thing out and figure their stuff out, they can take that. They could easily take a spot from the Hawks and any other team in the top 10. So for the Hawks, it's just gonna have to come down to how they're gonna be able to play Trae Young. But
I don't know, like it doesn't make sense in my mind to put Trae Young in. Like I get like maybe shifting him a little bit more off ball, but like Trae Young's like best ability is being on the ball. That's where a lot of the offensive
example Abdi against Miami Heat. Y'all killed him. Like he could not dribble, he cannot play make, he cannot facilitate whatsoever.
A lot of that comes down to one, he struggled against our physicality for sure. And two, there's a lack of a second ball handler. And I get like now DeJounte Murray sliding in now, but at the same time, Trae Young creates a lot of offense. The guy is a top 5 offensive engine. We look at it in terms of guys like Luka, Jokic, LeBron, guys like that. Even James Harden a couple of years back. Those type of offensive engines that literally can carry the entire offense, score and facilitate. It just like I don't know. Like Steph Curry is first off like he's a generational off-ball player. Like we'll probably never see a player that's that good off the ball like Steph Curry. And like for Trae Young to be moving towards a little bit off ball, that's better. But like I just don't see a situation where DeJounte Murray is a primary ball handler. Like I just can't see this for that.
Not primary, but they gotta play with it a little bit. They gotta test it out, see how it comes out the first 20 to 25 games. Because coming into that playoffs last year, after Trae Young, who could dribble the ball for the Hawks?
DeLon Wright.
Come on, they're dribbling off the only guy. It's bad. Now you got a guy that can actually come in, play 38 minutes a game right next to Trae Young. If that situation ever happens again, Miami's gonna say, "Hey, we got to pick one guy, but we got to pick the other guy." It's gonna be tough.
We haven't even talked about DeJounte's defense when he brings on that side of the ball too. He's
gonna help Trae Young. He's gonna help Trae Young a lot. He's gonna pick up the best guard. So Trae Young's gonna be chilling on defense. Just playing a little help ball, saving his energy for offense. And Deontay's going to be the dog on defense.
I want to talk about my team, the Chicago Bulls. I have him at 7. Where do you guys have him at again?
I got him at 9.
I got him at 9.
9? Why do you guys have him at 9?
I don't.
1.
They didn't give any better this year.
The point guard lost. Lonzo
and
Ball
Lonzo's
injury,
Lonzo's situation. We don't know when he's coming back.
And it's just like your front court is just garbage to me. Like
last year we talked about it. You were not satisfied with Vucevic. You wanted him off your team multiple times.
Like we talk about my forward, like we have no power forward, but like I mean, you guys are coming up with 6'4" Javonte Green and Derrick Jones Jr. and just like who's a 4 for the Bulls? Like, and
We're
that's
starting
like,
Patrick Williams at the 4 this year.
you know,
He
but
was
like
injured last year too,
he
right?
was injured last year, I
He
believe,
was
right?
injured for majority of the year up until
But
March.
like even still with Patrick Williams, like you guys struggled to contain, and I get you're gonna be like, yeah, it's Giannis, but it's just like rim protection for you guys was a big problem. Like Vucevic cannot hold down the paint, in my opinion. He can be offensively, like yeah, Vucevic has like he's a pretty good offensive center, in my opinion, but defensively, the guy just stinks, and it's just like if your anchor on defense is not good, it's tough. It's tough to win games. And can DeMar DeRozan replicate that form that he had last season? Absolutely not. Impossible. The stretch that DeMar DeRozan was going on last season, and again, probably bounces back to can Zach LaVine rehabilitate that knee and come back to a level where these two can average 25 and maybe carry this team. I don't know, but again, like I don't see DeMar DeRozan coming back to that form. Lonzo Ball's hurt, and that forward position, it just stinks, man.
Yeah, DeRozan had his best season at the age of 34. Just think about that. Just think about that. He's never replicated this season ever again. So like
You never know, man.
Nah,
I don't know, but 35 plus points in 10 straight games.
Come on now. What
The
he was doing last
guy hit back-to-back game winners.
Kind of crazy. Very crazy. And
Zach
Zach
did go
LaVine,
on a crazy stretch.
and Zach LaVine, for me, I feel like the guy just fell in love with the jump shot. I don't see him attacking the rim as much as he used to. Even before his knee injury, he was kind of starting to fall in love with coming into that jump shot, shooting more, settling for that jump shot. I feel like what made his game a lot was him attacking the rim, him being aggressive, him making the defenders like, yo, come jump with me. Y'all can't jump with me. I'm gonna attack the rim. We're gonna get some contact. We're gonna get some free throws. But the idea of this jump shot, 3 points, 24/7, I don't know. I feel like he got to go back to his old game, kind of mix it up. And I feel like he can be a good player, but DeRozan replicating that season against me is not gonna happen. So I got them at 9. They don't got Lonzo. They got Caruso back healthy. They got Ayo Damasu and who's the other guy?
We signed Goran Dragic in the offseason, and we signed Andre Drummond.
Come on,
Andre Drummond, Goran Dragic.
Come on, bro.
I mean, we lacked the backup big for Vucevic last
Tony
year.
Bradley Jr.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Andre Drummond's he's not a bad player. He just sometimes he's on point, and sometimes he's just gone from the game. So
I mean, he's a huge upgrade compared to what we had last
Kobe
year.
White's still on the team, right?
Yeah, Kobe White's still on this team.
Yeah,
that brother stinks, man.
You guys really don't have no creative point guard. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, losing Lonzo hurts, man. I have to say that first. Without the only way I see this Bulls team making the playoffs is, praying to God that Lonzo Ball is able to get back healthy, like come December time. Because last year, our main problem when he went down was our offense being so stagnant. We weren't really moving the ball, but the ball was sticking with all these, scores that we have on our team. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White. We really didn't get Vucevic involved like that. Vucevic is the X factor on this Bulls team. If he doesn't have a good game offensively, the Bulls, they're not really going to win because DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, they're going to bring it every night. And you know what to expect out of those two guys. And if you slot in Kobe White here and there, he gives you 14 to 16 off the bench. You need Vucevic to give you at least 18 points and 12 rebounds, like basically what he was averaging. And like majority of the season, he really wasn't giving us that. And then on top of the fact that he doesn't play any defense, we ran into the Sixers 3 times, I believe, in the span of 2 weeks. And Joel Embiid literally had, I think, 30 points in every matchup. And then, of course, you guys all saw what Giannis did to us in the playoffs. He just he got whatever he wanted in the paint. But the loss of Lonzo Ball is really going to hurt this team because Lonzo he plays great defense. He's going to pick up your best offensive guy, and then on defense on offense, the ball's not going to stick with him. He's going to get guys involved. He's going to get Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan the ball in spots that they want him, and pick and roll with Vucevic, pick and pop however you want it. And then of course, if those guys want to go ISO, our main 2 guys, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. I mean, Lonzo Ball's a 42% 3-point shooter, so you can't really sag off him like that. So the Bulls.
Where'd you have the Bulls at?
I have them at 7. Just I feel like even like the teams that I have them above the Hawks, and I have them above the Raptors, and then of course at 10, I think I had the Hornets. You guys had the Knicks, I think.
I had the Wizards,
and then Knicks.
I might even say I don't think the Bulls are better than the Wizards.
You guys are
That's
kind of disrespecting the Raptors, in my opinion. Like that's
Hey,
crazy.
you've been in love with Toronto for so long. I can't even remember.
Yo,
This
like,
guy
what?
always loved Toronto. Like,
Wait, why y'all hating on like Toronto? Like, why are they 6?
But I don't.
Why are they not 6 for you guys? Like,
I don't think
this
I
team
don't
has
think they have any superstars. Like
they have an all-star point guard in Fred
no,
VanVleet.
no.
He's he's an all-star point guard. The NBA
don't
named
think so.
him. The NBA named him all-star point guard.
I don't think so.
Regardless, he's
No, I'll go ahead and say this before you move on to the Raptors. If the Bulls fail to make the playoffs, it'll be the Raptors that'll take their spot. So and they'll leapfrog the Hawks. So they'll be the 7th seed and the Bulls will be the 9th seed where you guys have it, man.
You don't think the Hawks make the playoffs either?
I have the Hawks making the playoffs. If there's one team that I feel like is on the edge of making the playoffs right now, it's the Bulls. But I'm giving him the slight edge because if Lonzo Ball is able to come back at some point in the year, we know what this team is capable of. We saw it last year, even when he was healthy. The Bulls were the 1 seed for majority of the year. And I know people are going to call it Mickey Mouse, but at the end of the day, they were getting the job done and it was working for them. So I feel like if Lonzo Ball can just come back healthy early on in the season, like I would say December, at some point, mid-December, late December, and I think that's enough time for them to mesh and gel and just go ahead and make the playoffs. But if he's not able to come back this year, which I am hearing that they might just sit him out this entire year, then I don't have the Bulls making the playoffs. But I'm banking on him coming back, so that's why I have him at 7. But the Raptors, they can easily take their spot.
yeah, the Raptors, bro. They put out some crazy lineups, man. And then like Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., you have OG Anunoby, you have Scotty Barnes, and you have Pascal Siakam. That's every single person on that lineup that can play great defense. Every single person. You have 2 almost 40% shooters from the 3-point line. You have a guy in Pascal Siakam who's extremely underrated. He's an all-star player, all-NBA player. And you have OG Anunoby, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best 3-and-D player in the NBA. That's how good he is. And you have a guy like Precious Achiuwa and that's coming off the bench, and he's a very underrated player. I'm pissed that we traded him away, man, because the guy, we got to wash up Kyle Lowry for that guy. So it sucks. But again, Scotty Barnes is going to take another leap, and it's just the defensive lineups that these guys can put out. It's just crazy to me. And also the fact that offensively, they have good pieces. Fred VanVleet, 40% shooter from 3. Gary Trent Jr. can do it from outside, and Pascal Siakam. So, and he's someone who continually gets better every season. So the Raptors, to me, they're going under the radar, and it's a theme for Toronto basketball. They always go under the radar, but I have them finishing the 6th seed.
This Fred VanVleet glass to me is crazy to me. I don't know why. I feel like all those players you named, it works when you got a superstar like Kawhi on the team. Like you can win with Kawhi on the team, but you don't got a superstar. You don't got a superstar that can get a bucket. Like they don't have that.
Well, yeah, Siakam can get a bucket. Let's not
disrespect
Siakam.
Siakam
can get buckets.
Siakam's he's not a bucket getter like that.
No, you know, Siakam.
If I need a bucket, I need a bucket for a crucial game, I am not going to
Pascal Siakam's going to get you that bucket. He's going to
spin.
Spin, and he's going to get you that bucket. That's what
Madden 360. The Madden.
Yes,
360.
he's going to 360, and he's going to get you that bucket. That's what Pascal Siakam's going to do.
To me, there's 25 other guys that can give me a bucket. I'll pick him before Pascal Siakam.
No, that's crazy. There
is 25 other guys.
That's like, ridiculous. But there's 20. But by 25, you're reaching guys like Gobert, man. Like, be serious, man.
I'm not gonna pick Gobert. I'm not gonna be disrespectful like that. But guys like Anthony Edwards, for sure, 100%. I put him in it to get a bucket instead. But I don't know.
Siakam can get his own.
This team, like you said, like they got a bunch of great players, but there's no one that takes it off the edge to put them in that top 5, to put them in that top 6, to put them in that, that elite category. They got a bunch of great role players: Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, Gary Trent, Precious Achiuwa. Who's even the tall, lengthy?
They picked up Otto Porter Jr. as well.
Otto Porter Jr. is another bench piece. I forgot to talk his name. The lengthy center.
Chris Boucher.
Boucher.
Yeah, Boucher.
There's a bunch of players that you could play on the defensive end. They're gonna climb, but on the offensive end, I really don't see it much. It's not really put together.
You got to think about it like this, though. The Raptors in the regular season, even in the playoffs as well, but we're just talking about regular season.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, it doesn't matter who they're playing. It can be the Detroit Pistons on a Tuesday night. They're playing their guys 48 minutes. Those guys don't get a break.
It's crazy, They
play hard every single night.
I don't like.
Yeah,
that.
They're tryhards every game. So
Damn.
I completely understand why Abdi would have him where he has him, and Ross. I feel like we are kind of disrespecting them. For me personally, having them outside.
You guys forget they have Nick Nurse as their coach. Like, come on.
Yeah, and he's like a evil scientist, man. Like he just thinks a little too hard.
Kawhi left. Yeah, hasn't cooked up anything much. But that's just me.
They're going into the season. They're gonna run the same exact lineup Abdi mentioned. VanVleet, Anunoby, Siakam, Barnes, and Gary Trent. Like,
imagine running against that lineup for 40.
It's one point guard and 4 wings. Like, what are you supposed to do at that point? 4 wings that are gonna clamp you up, and like it's gonna be tough to get buckets on these guys. So
you guys seen how huge Scotty Barnes is now, bro. That guy's like 6'11", ripped.
He's looked good this offseason. I gotta say,
I'm excited to see how his offense turns out, though. I want to see if he takes that next step offensively. He was a great playmaker last year too. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was a great playmaker.
I just don't think the Raptors offense, like the way they play,
the half-court offense kind of stinks, man.
It's very. I don't think it's sustainable in the playoffs. Come playoff time, because the playoffs everything starts to slow down a little bit. Half-court offense is more involved.
Kind of slowed down against the Sixers last year.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna upset the Sixers, especially with the way they were looking. But
you hated the Sixers.
I mean, in fairness to the Raptors, they did kind of pick up injuries. I think Fred VanVleet was dealing with a hamstring injury, and then Scotty Barnes got hurt, and then
they looked better without Fred.
Yeah,
they did look better without Fred VanVleet.
He got injured though. He got injured though.
Yeah, in fairness to him. They could have used him in certain situations. I'm not gonna go ahead and say he's terrible.
I feel like he's a shot checker.
But Scotty Barnes getting hurt. I think Embiid got him hurt too, right? That was a pretty dirty play from that guy.
No, was it his ankle or was it
his ankle? But
I think it was his ankle. He just completely stepped on his ankle.
So was Siakam dirty for what he did to Embiid?
Ooh,
no, okay, come on, bro.
Wait, Siakam's not dirty for what he did to Embiid?
Nah, not at all, man.
Because it's Embiid, right?
Yes, because it's Embiid. There you go. There you go.
Let's talk about the Knicks. You got him at 10. I need to hear this, man. 3 lefties on their team.
Hey, they cooked up today, though. I ain't gonna lie.
The right side of that court, nobody's touching it. But all jokes aside, like, I don't know. I just feel like Julius Randle, like I'm putting my stocks back with Julius Randle.
Stop.
I'm investing in Julius Randle. I understand last season he wasn't particularly great. Actually, matter of fact, he wasn't really that good.
He was basura.
Yeah, he stunk it up, man. He stunk it up, man. But RJ Barrett took another step, which was great for the Knicks. That's a franchise player. You bring in a very, very underrated player in Jalen Brunson. And we seen the playoffs that he had the first round series when Luka went out. The first 3 games, the guy was absolutely cooking. And now he's in a starting position where he can dictate the offense. I just feel like those 3 right there, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett as a big 3, they're pretty solid, honestly. Like, in comparison to the Wizards, I believe they're way better than the Wizards. The Wizards just, outside of Bradley Beal, there's like a huge drop-off. And with the Knicks, they just got 3 solid, really good players. And I think RJ Barrett might take an all-star step this year. That's how confident I am in this year. I know beginning of last year, I used to slander him, but I just feel like this guy, he's put it together. The second half of the season, he was averaging almost 24, 25 a game. So he might take that all-star leap. And if Julius Randle can come back to a position where he's averaging 19, 20 a game and Jalen Brunson is doing what he's supposed to be doing, these guys can sneak in the play-in spot and maybe get into the playoffs. So
only reason I did not pick the Knicks at 10 was Julius Randle.
Yo, invest in Julius Randle.
I am not investing in him, bro. The guy, he thwarts the team. Like, you got to take him off that team. He's the cancer to that team. He's killing that team. Please take him off. Like, to unleash RJ Barrett, unleash RJ Barrett, Brunson, to open the spacing on the floor, you got to take Randle out. Like, how you gonna play Randle? How you gonna play Mitchell Robinson? And how you gonna play Obi Toppin?
But don't worry, it's gonna be.
Come on Brunson. Now, there is no spacing.
It's gonna be Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, or it might be Manuel Quickly. But I think Quickly they prefer him.
They're gonna stop Fournier.
So in my opinion, it should be Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. That is not a bad lineup. Like, y'all are sleeping. That's not a bad lineup at all. I think they can work with that.
We saw from Julius Randle last year. Dude,
he's gonna be better. Invest in Julius Randle, man.
He made the All-Star the year before last year, right?
Man, crazy fall. COVID tax. Crazy fall off.
Come on, man. I just can't trust that Knicks team right now, especially with the roster that they got. I like RJ Barrett a lot. I was telling you all last year, he's a good basketball player, man.
I do think RJ Barrett takes that step to All-Star though.
I think Jalen Brunson, he was a solid pickup for them this offseason. Paying him what? I think they paid him $110 million a year.
4 years, 110.
4 year, 110. I'm not too sure about that contract, but I mean, it's the next right. They got to overpay for guys like Jalen Brunson because they're not going to be able
Man, today's NBA, everybody getting paid though. So
everybody's getting paid, but the Knicks, they're not going to be able to attract top talent just based on the fact that James Dolan still owns that team. So all these superstars are not going to be willing to go to New York with him there. But the Knicks, man, I'm not gonna lie, I might have to switch my pick to them at 10 or.
No. Stay
telling you, bro.
Stay with the Hornets. Stay with the Hornets.
I'm not gonna lie. It
Julius Randle, bro.
completely slipped my mind that Miles Bridges is gonna be out for the entire season. Like I forgot what that man did in the offseason. He really fumbled his bag, but I don't know. I'm gonna stick.
No,
with
you
the
can't.
Hornets.
You can't. Just be realistic. It's okay to go back on it. Like it's Terry Rozier and LaMelo. Like it's gonna be nice for House of Highlights and all, but like for wins, it's just not gonna happen.
It's tough. The
You
Wizards
think, you think Angelo Ball is gonna make the roster opening night?
I can make the roster before him.
I'll tell you guys, they signed him for shirt sales. Like their media was a little bit low since the Miles Bridges incident, everything. They need to get their PR up, so they signed him. Like cute little story, brother and brother, So
that's what it was.
He's
Couple
getting cut.
jersey sales.
I mean, I feel like the only way that they're going to be able to, be the 10th seed is if LaMelo takes another step as a player. But
nobody ranked that Wizards squad.
I was just going to ask you. You're the only one that had the Wizards at 10 outside of the Knicks and the Hornets. So
I feel like last year, due to the fact that Dilwando was on the team early in the season with Bradley Beal, I feel like those two were beefing. Like, hey, I'm a bucket getter. I want to get my shots up, and then you got Bradley Beal. Like, hell, I'm the star of this team. I need my shots up, but the fact that they got KP in that trade last year and KP and Bill haven't played together, I feel like they can do some wonders this year, especially Rui Hachimura back, Kyle Kuzma playing good, Deni Avdija, he's a fantastic defender. He's a good shooter. He's a solid player. Kind of like this team. This team.
Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Deni Avdija, Rui Hachimura, and Porzingis. Actually, matter of fact, take out Hachimura, put Kuzma there.
It sound better than Randall.
It
sounds better than Randall.
That's still mid to me. That's mid to me.
Yeah, that's just a bunch
better
of
than
mid.
Randall Grimes.
That's the whole.
It sounds better. I don't know. I feel like the Wizards is one of those teams that they some way find out to grind it out, end up that last 10th, 9th, 8th playing tournament. I feel like they can get there. They did that way. I'm pretty sure they did that 2 years ago with Westbrook playing.
Bradley Beal, he re-signed with these guys in the offseason, right? He got paid.
Doing it for the end.
I just don't understand why, to be honest. What was the point of staying with this Wizards team? They haven't really built anything around him.
But at his point in his career, right? Like,
it's an L for the Wizards. Like,
it's an L for the Wizards.
How are you going to compete? How are you going to compete with Bradley Beal as your best player? Like, there's no world where Bradley Beal's a number one option on a winning team. It's just not possible.
Nah, never. But for him, it's not an L though. Take the bag.
No, I'm not saying it, but like I understand as a basketball player, you're always gonna want to get your money. But like, what about winning? Like, you don't want to win a championship. You don't have dreams and aspirations of being a champ. Like, I get it, 250 mil. Like, you can't pass that up. But staying in Washington on a team that's not gonna make the playoffs, not gonna make the play-in tournament. Like, the way that I view this is, I feel like in a couple of years he's gonna just demand a trade. They're not gonna keep him. The way the Wizards are going to go, they're going to be downhill. It could be next year, to be honest, as early as next year. I feel like this year there won't be any talks. Of course, he just signed that contract, but
I feel like he comes out this year just has a crazy year. I feel like he's going to hoop.
I hope so. I really wanted Bradley Beal to end up in Miami alongside Jimmy Butler, because I feel like those two guys they would have done some damage in the East, but. We'll go. We'll go ahead and talk about 11 through 15 a little bit. I have the Knicks, the Wizards, the Pistons, the Pacers, and then I wrap it up with the Magic. The Knicks and Wizards, it can go either way, to be honest. But the Pistons, I feel like they're an up and coming team. They had a really good offseason, especially with their draft. They're building around Cade Cunningham. They drafted Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey, he's a hell of a talent. I feel like those two guys are going to be able to work off each other.
Jalen Duren.
Yeah,
Jalen Duren from I think Memphis.
Yeah,
is he from? I'm pretty sure from Memphis.
Yeah, they got a pretty young team, so they're just obviously they're in a rebuild mode right now. So it's not looking too bad for them. So, but I got them at 13. The Pacers. I honestly just don't know what they're going to do with guys like Miles Turner and.
You got the Pacers at 15 or Orlando at 15?
I have Orlando at 15. They're the worst team in the NBA.
No, that's ridiculous. But
After in the East,
I got-
I'll say this: they're the worst team in the Eastern Conference.
no,
I got
that's
Pacers.
no,
I got
absolutely.
Pacers as the worst team. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be 11 Wizards, Magic, Pistons, Pacers, Hornets. Hornets are dead last. There's no question in my mind.
Wait.
There's no way a
Take out the
team with
Knicks. Take out
LaMelo
the Knicks
Ball.
and Wizards, right? Take out the Knicks and Wizards, right? Who's your
Yeah.
12th one?
Magic.
Magic that high?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Like, they are.
Me.
Markel Fultz, give him a month. When he comes out of training camp, when he comes back from this injury, he's gonna be good, right? Markel Fultz is a boost for them, right? Then you have a guy in Franz Wagner who's extremely underrated amongst rookies, right? Then you get a guy like Paolo, right? He's gonna be coming in. Paolo's gonna be one of those guys that are just NBA ready because he has an NBA body, he has an NBA game. He's gonna come in ready. You have Wendell Carter Jr. And to me, like, that team is better than the Pacers and the Hornets, without a shade of a doubt. With the Pistons, it's arguable, right?
Yeah, see, for me, I had the Pistons ahead of them.
Yeah. That's a fair argument, that the Pistons, but I cannot see a situation where the Hornets are better than the Orlando Magic, because the Orlando Magic to me, what they got going on with 2 6'10" shot creators is just ridiculous to me. You have two guys in France and Paolo, and they're just gonna take off this season. So that's why I have the Magic that high. I rate them really high. I think Markel Fultz, when he gets back, he's gonna.
How about that backcourt though? Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs. Like I don't really see much with those two guys.
Hold on. Let's
I like Wendell
pump
Carter.
the brakes a little bit.
Suggs is clamps,
we
though.
can't let this guy get away with stuff like this, man. Let's forget
listen,
about
listen,
Cole
no.
Anthony for a second. We're in the year 2022, and we're still talking about Markel Fultz, man.
I mean,
Are you serious?
you're a Lonzo fan. What's the difference?
Lonzo is a way better player than Markel
No, he's
Fultz.
really
Come
not.
on now,
He's
man.
really not.
Let's
Markel Fultz is an excellent playmaker, which is crazy because coming in from college, he wasn't even like a playmaker like that. He's still a really good finisher. And to me, he's a guy, even without a lack of a jump shot, he can still get buckets. So to them, the Orlando Magic, there's a reason why they had him as their starting point guard in the second half of the season. And the boost that he brought them, I mean, it's scary, man. He would have been my most improved player pick if he didn't get injured.
I don't know. People talking about Hornets 15.
Well, the Hornets stink, bro. Like, let's get that
Pacers.
clear.
No, the
Hornets
Pacers.
stink.
Can we speak about the Pacers?
There's before we move on to the Pacers, there's no way a team with LaMelo Ball is going to be the worst team in the Eastern
No,
Conference,
it's happening,
man.
and I like.
There's
LaMelo
no
Ball.
way.
I don't have. I have the Hornets. For me, let me say my order: 10 Wizards, 11 Knicks, 12 Pistons.
Gee, where are you going with this?
I'm stuck.
Bro, just put the Magic, bro. Put the Magic. Put the Pacers and put the Hornets.
Being a
on.
good salesman right now. Yeah, hey, what's up with you, LaMelo Ball, bro? Y'all ain't selling me nothing. I'm about to put the Magic.
He knows, but like the guy knows.
The starting lineup for the Charlotte Hornets this year will be LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington, and Plumlee. So
that's not moving me, bro.
it's not gonna be nothing crazy. They're gonna have to definitely make a mover.
Well, Orlando started 5. Orlando started 5. I'm seeing Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, and Wendell Carter Jr. like that. How's that moving me to switch though?
I mean, it's a whole bunch of mid.
I mean, I don't know, man. Paulo, man, he's a crazy talent, man.
I'm gonna put Orlando at 13. 14 is the Hornets for me, and then 15 is the Pacers.
So why do you? I mean, I have the Pacers at 14, so it's pretty close. So why do you got them dead last?
I just think every other team, they had better upgrades in every position in the draft and in the offseason. And I feel like the Pacers, they picked up.
Like they might end up getting rid of Buddy Hill.
And they're gonna get rid of Miles Turner and Buddy Hill.
I feel like
the trade deadline.
I feel like for them is to get as much picks as you can.
They're trying to get one by one.
Hey, bro, you have to. Like at this point, like really, it's like, wait, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna fight for a 10 seed or 11 seed? What's the point of that? So they're gonna try to get rid of Miles Turner, try to get rid of Buddy Hill. Halliburton's gonna have a fantastic season. He's gonna have fun. He's gonna cook up, but I expect them to tank. I expect them to get that first pick next year. Maybe okay. When we talk about the West, there's a couple teams in the West that might want.
The Spurs want that badly.
Spurs want it really bad.
And I'm a bit worried about the quality of basketball we're going to be seeing this year because, dudes, there's going to be a lot of teams that tank for this guy.
Yeah, I just want to say, wait, Bamba, man, I just seen the little stat sheet today. 7 threes. 7 threes.
You guys are so fake.
He's 7'3". Hey,
he's not a real player. I saw a clip before we hopped on. I think he got a block and then he got the rebound, right? And then he's just dribbling up the court and he's sizing up his guy, and he gets to the basket when he spins off again, gets to the rim. Like he's 7'3", dribbling like he's a guard. I don't understand this guy.
And the funny part is he motioned the guy to step up on the 3-point line too. He's like, come up.
The guy's a very fake player, man.
Nah, he's a fake player. There's gonna be a lot of teams that be taking from him. There's gonna be a lot of teams that they don't get him at the first pick, right? I'd be satisfied with Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, he played against Scoot Henderson today, right?
Yeah, he had a fantastic day today against him. So both them, man, it's crazy.
Scoot's a crazy talent, man.
Yeah, I expect the Pacers, man, just to tank this year. Really tank, man.
Yeah, they're gonna tank, and then during the season they're gonna get rid of those two. There's two guys, Miles Turner and Buddy Hield.
So,
but I mean, getting a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, that's a good start to your rebuild. You know,
would have been nicer if they would have gotten DeAndre Ayton. Like they would have been really building something.
And in the draft too, I feel like if they picked up Jaden Ivey, man.
I like Ben Mathurin, man.
I like Ben Mathurin, but I feel like that the offensive side of Jaden Ivey.
I think actually Jaden Ivey's gonna really struggle this first year because
you think so?
I think he's gonna struggle because like when you come into the season, like Jaden Ivey's kind of an erratic player. That's just like his play style. Like he reminds me a lot about Westbrook. I don't know why people made a comparison between him and Ja. They don't play anything alike. If anything, he plays a lot more like Westbrook, right? Mm-hmm. And so like for a first year guy to come in and he doesn't really have like a jump shot. He has a solid base to work with, but coming in first year, you know, he's going to be erratic. It's going to take him time to adjust to the NBA level. Yeah. So I think like this first year is going to be like a learning type of year for Jaden Ivey. Like I think he's going to struggle at some point, but I don't know. I like I just like shot creators, man. I like guys that can just get buckets, that can shoot.
Yeah. Ben Mathurin, he can get buckets, man. I watched a little bit of him when he was at Arizona. And of course, in the tournament, he was doing pretty well for himself. He's a crazy talent.
He had a good tournament too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, the Indiana Pacers, man, they got two solid pieces.
They got 27-year-old Duarte chilling, man.
28, he got drafted.
Man, that guy was a 24-year-old rookie.
Yeah,
that's just ridiculous.
Some guys get their extension at that age, right? That's crazy.
They're on the third contract at that age. What are you talking about?
His second contract's gonna come at 28, man. That's crazy, man. But he can get a bucket too. He's a solid piece for them.
Yeah.
But the Pacers, of course, they're just gonna be one of those teams that tank for Wembanyama. So I don't expect them to do anything. But I think that wraps up our standing predictions for the Eastern Conference. Any final words before we close things out?
NBA season is approaching us, man. It's getting closer and closer. Let's get it.
Good luck to Andy Dalton and the Saints this week. Seattle's about to get their third W. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I'm looking forward to coming back here on Monday talking about my Minnesota Vikings sitting at 4-1. And of course, as always, we're going to be bringing more NBA content your way. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. We really appreciate your love and support. We greatly appreciate it if you like, commented, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube, all of our social media handles will be in the beginning of this video. And for those of you that are listening to us on Apple and Spotify, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now Lakes, now that's overkill.